Andrew McCart, iFLTV. I'm here with Dave Coldwell. Always, I just smashed my camera there. Always nice to speak to you, not through a computer screne, face to face for a change. How did you find that show tonight?
I really enjoyed it. Worked it for DAZN. My hometown, nice arena. I've never been here before. And what a production, what a show, matchmaking. I thought it was a really good show.
Talk to me about the card then. What fight in that card? I mean, Eddie said he handed out a £1,000 knockout bonus. There was 5 knockouts on this card, so the poor man's got to hand that suit back. But what fight stood out for you the most?
I got to say, Ryan Walsh. I don't know if it's a bit of nostalgia because I was there when all three of them, the three brothers turned pro, and I followed that sort of journey. A bit of listening to him at the press conference, and I loved how he spoke. I loved how nothing was fought. It was very clever, very concise, very to the point. And then after the weigh-in, I had a chat with him on stage, and when you know that somebody's not bluffing. What happens with a lot of fighters when they get old and they're trying to convince people they've still got it, is you can tell that they're bluffing. I feel great, I feel strong, camp's been brilliant, this, that, oh yeah. And you kind of can tell that they're trying to make you believe. When Ryan was speaking to me yesterday, I just knew that everything he was saying, he was looking, when you're trying to look into his eyes, you're trying to look into the soul, trying to find, and I just thought the way that he's speaking, everything's just matter of fact, it's truth, and it comes from the confidence of what he's been doing in the gym. And I thought, he's going to do it. And I said to Izzy, I said, that's the fight. You can have an upsetting. And that was outstanding. You know what was good about it? 38 years old, you want to see if his legs are there, reactions are there. Legs were sharp. Okay, maybe you don't know what it's going to be in a few rounds' time. But legs were sharp, but it was the reactions. Sees the gap, takes it quick. When you get old and when age has a factor, you see it, but you don't quite have that time to take it. Yeah. But he was like, see the gap, boom. See the gap, boom. He was very good. And I feel sorry for Reese Mould, I gotta say. He's a lovely kid. And he's a good fighter. And he's got to understand that doesn't mean that's the end. It's the end if he wants it to be end, but it can still come back from that. This is boxing. I would rather, I know it sounds bad, and at the time it's not what you want, but I would rather a fighter get done quick like that than have an 8-10 round beating, a war, and then get knocked out in the 10th round, because that's what stays with you.
It's funny you said that, because I said to Ryan, he had the WBA belt, and I said to him, you know who the WBA lightweight champion is right now? You've got that version. He went, who? And Liam was there, went, Javante Davis. And his big brother came in and was like, you beat one of my brothers, I bet you can't beat this one. So he's went off on Tank Davis. So honestly, it's going to be a good view, and I'm going to clip that out. But yeah, Shaquille Thompson looks good as well. Another fight from your home city in Sheffield here, so you must be excited about him.
Massive pressure on him. He's quite a quiet kid. But there was a bit of needle there with River Wilson-Ben. The reaction in the first press conference, and Rivers this week's been at him. He walks out, big production, live on DAZN. Your hometown's packed out. It's a lot of pressure when you're headlining. And I thought and a step up in opponent as well. And he rose to the occasion really, really well. He was outstanding. Really, really good.
It was good to see Izzy and Eddie together. I mean, Eddie's top of the game. Izzy's coming up underneath there, and he's coming up quite rapid because the show that he's putting on here and the production that he puts on. How far do you think Izzy can go? I mean, we always talk about big promoters and Frank Warren and Eddie and Ben Shalom, but could we have a fourth here in the UK?
Well, why not? With time, with experience, it's going to get better and better. The team's going to get better and better. They're a young team, but as long as they keep doing the right things, try not to run too quick. Steady, doing a great job. Just keep making things right. The easiest thing is to try and keep it all like this and to push people away and not work with other people. He wants to work with other people, and that'll help. That'll only help the promotion, And the biggest difficulty when you're a promoter coming through, not difficult, but the biggest danger really is ego. Yeah, don't have an ego. Listen to people that know boxing around you, and don't try and think that you know better than people that have been around the game for years. And I mean, Izzy's been a fighter, he's been around for years, but in terms of, you know, you're always learning from people around in the game, ideas and whatnot, and, you know, just do things the right way. And I think he can, you know. Obviously, Eddie and Frank are legends. Well, legends. Frank, legend of the game. Eddie, for what he's done in less time than Frank, is a legend of the game. They're the two stalwarts. But you need the next generation coming through, and you know, DAZN are backing him right now, and you imagine if he had as the budget goes up with the mentality that they've got at GBM for making these kind of fights, shows are only going to get better.
Definitely. Now, I didn't get you Sunday morning after the AJ Dubois fight, and it's been close to a week since that fight, and everyone's analysed it and studied it and said AJ's left hand, this, that, and the next thing. You're a coach, you've been in boxing a long time yourself, you've probably studied it and watched that fight back. What do you make of it? Dubois, was that good, or mistakes from AJ?
Yeah, I've watched it back once. I watched it live, and I watched it back. AJ was really bad defensively, but Dubois was excellent. Dubois was really, really good. Dubois didn't do anything special, but Dubois used the assets that he's got, and that was the difference. We all know, I don't need to go over, we all know the mistakes that AJ made, you know, and he was punished for it, and that's genuinely about it. He was punished for the mistakes he made. You can't really make it, you can't. I've heard people say, oh yeah, you know, if he froze or this or that. Well, if he froze, he froze. But he's the one that's experienced in front of stadium crowds and big occasions and stuff like that. So, yes, he could have froze, but that's not really an excuse. That's the first time Dubois was kind of like on that major stage. But he didn't freeze. He went out and did what he's capable of doing. This is boxing, unfortunately. One man will get it right, and the other man won't get it right. And Anthony Joshua on the night didn't get it right, you know.
I spoke to Eddie and I said, Eddie, I've seen the pictures on Wednesday, I think it was, or Tuesday, with you and Turkey Al Sheikh and Joshua and whatnot, and I said, what was the conversations? And he said, Turkey Al Sheikh, His Excellency, wants that rematch. It seems like Joshua, we know what Joshua's makeup is like. He loses, he wants that rematch immediately. Are you happy with that decision? No. I mean, does it make sense for Joshua and Dubois?
As somebody outside that I don't know AJ personally that well to be able to understand how he'll cope with it mentally, confidence-wise. All I can go is on how hesitant he's been in the past after the Ruiz fight, and you know, the rebuild process and everything. But then, so in my mind, I think a rematch immediately isn't a good idea. But then you got to think, well, if he froze, which people are saying that he did, if you're going to use that, I'm not saying that he is, but if you're going to use that, then he's had his rebuilding fights, and then so that's not done any good. You know, that's not done anything for him. So he might as well go straight in. But he got it wrong. You know, defensively he got it wrong. I didn't feel he went to establish anything. I think almost maybe was he trying to be too smart? Maybe, you know. I don't know. That's being when you're not in there, you don't know what the plan was, what the idea was, what his idea was. He just got it wrong on the night, and if the rematch has happened, would I say, he's got no chance of winning? No, because AJ's got the power and the ability to beat most fighters out there, you know. So yeah, he could, but I don't know whether I just think Dubois going into a rematch will be even more of a beast, you know. And I just feel that physicality, as well as the punches, were a problem for AJ in there. Just the sheer physicality of him as well. He might be just one of those fighters that are all wrong for him, maybe.
What get your opinion? Have you seen Oscar De La Hoya's Clapback Thursday? Have you seen them?
This week.
You've not seen this week's?
Regularly because it's hilarious.
Listen, to be fair, I need to show you this, man, before I talk about it. So I said, Eddie, you've seen it, right? And he said, I need to do Fuck You Friday. So Eddie on Fuck You Friday. I'll let you watch this first, right? So this is Fuck You Friday. Watch. Let me see.
It's the segment of the week where I pretend I'm really happy, but I'm burning inside. Come on, AJ, he's the best build fighter of all time. But Golden Boy, who have you got left? Canelo's gone. He hates you. He sued you. Jaime Munguia, you pretend you represent him. You What a top man. Virgil Ortiz sold a couple of thousand tickets and Ryan Garcia's banned. And now you're being sued again by Devin Haney. Have a great day.
Whatever you think of that guy, he's the funniest guy out. That is brilliant. Honestly, that's brilliant.
What do you make of all this sort of like soap opera and box?
Come on with that shit straight away. That's what I mean. He's funny, man. He is funny.
Well, what do you make of all this soap opera stuff? And you like that one?
You got to do that regularly.
He's got to do fucking Friday.
Regularly, yeah, fucking Friday. Eddie, do that regularly. Every Friday in response. That's wicked.
Brilliant, man. What do you make of the soap opera? I mean, we had Chris Eubank Jr. calling Eddie and Frank scumbags. Then we had the clapback Friday from Oscar. Boxing is a fight game, but it seems like we've got these storylines now within the sport.
We got characters in the sport, and that's what we need. Listen, I like it because, you know, I've got no vested interest in them all. You know, I just want the sport to be propelled. Yes, sometimes it's embarrassing. I find Oscar embarrassing. I was an Oscar De La Hoya.
Beavis?
Yeah. I was an Oscar De La Hoya fan. I watched him throughout his career from turning pro. Unbelievable fighter, but he's not right. He's not right, and he's got it there. He pretends to be happy, and he obviously isn't. It's so bitter, but he's a character, and it's something where you're having a stressful day or whatever. You come up on you watch it, and you have a giggle, you have a laugh at him, you know, and I laugh at what he says sometimes. We need characters. We do need characters. Otherwise, it gets a bit boring.
Definitely. Dave, I won't keep you much longer. You might have a couple more interviews, I don't know, but always a pleasure to see you. You coming tomorrow night, the other show?
Yeah, probably will be, yeah.
No doubt. I'll see you then. Dave, thank you so much, man. I'll see you in the next one. Thank you.